What's up, YouTube, and welcome to Pimpage Pick Ups episode 11. Just gonna run through a lot of this stuff. I know last time I left you guys off with me saying that I had changed a bunch of cards in the cube, and so basically all of this stuff you're about to see is the new stuff that I had added in, and the well, I guess last two cards are, well, just really the last card is the main Pimpage pickup for this episode. I've got a couple other nice cards coming, but I wanted to get this one out of the way. So, starting off, Evolving Wilds. I kind of wanted a colorless fixer that could go into any deck, and this is kind of a nice little fetch land, if you will. And I love this promo artwork. So, Evolving Wilds. Rakdos Cackler's next. I do not have black aggro as an archetype in my deck, so this is basically just a red aggressive 1 mana 2/2. You'll notice that there's a lot of red new additions. I used to have land destruction as an archetype, and boy, I really wanted it to work, and it just was underwhelming. It just never really got there. It was always avoided or last picked or never really, stepped into. So I decided to just help out and pump up red even further. Next up, Zergo Bellstriker, great 1-drop. Borderland Marauder, another great aggressive creature. And I added this new card I've seen in some cubes. It seems pretty sweet, Warname Aspirant. And, of course, you can't forget Goblin Rabble Master. I actually prefer the promo to the actual set artwork. I don't know, this kind of artwork screams more of the goblins that I'm used to growing up with. Like the what was it, like Raging Goblin from Portal stuff. Just kind of that artwork. Whereas the set is more dark and gloomy, which I still like, but this screams more Goblin in Magic the Gathering to me. So I went with that. Manic Vandal. ETB. Destroy artifact type effect. One of the cards I cut was Pillage, so that was, I was trying to fill and get a creature, get power on board, but still being able to answer like an artifact, which Pillage could do with land destruction also. So Pillage got cut, the Ravenous Baboons got cut, Fulminator Mage had got cut, a bunch of other stuff. Next up is Arc Lightning, Old Border, love it. And Burning of Xin Yi. It's a second wildfire effect, and I kind of like having a secondary effect like that. I've got Armageddon, and I'm trying to get a Ravages of War once that promo, becomes available to me. But I like, where you kind of build a deck and you've got at least, a better chance at getting one of the pieces you're hoping to get, like 2 wildfire effects or 2 Armageddon effects. So there's Burning of Xin Yi. I also picked up Sarkin the Dragon Speaker. I like this guy as one of the other red planeswalkers. It's just him and Koth. I just don't think Chandra's good at all in Cube, and of course, Tibalt is not even a consideration in my Cube. So the pickings are rather slim. I've thought about maybe using what's his name, Duretti, but haven't gone there yet. Sarkin, very sweet planeswalker, both aggressive, and you can even use him in a kind of control finisher style, if need be. This is a new one, Kolaghan's Command. This actually took the place of the Fulminator Mage, which was in the Rakdos colors. But this has been, pretty sweet card. I actually like it. I cut Progenitus for Sphinx of the Steel Wind. Really, Progenitus was only used if you had, Show and Tell, maybe Sneak Attack. I just added in Eureka, so you could do that, or the Natural Order. Really not a ton of ways to get him in. He was last picked quite often. This guy's a great finisher if you're in these colors for Esper. Also very good for, all the aforementioned ways of cheating in fatties. And it's a Tinker target, which is, fantastic as well. So there you have it. This card, let's talk about this. Duress, 7th edition, Old Border foil. Absolutely love the artwork on this, and probably my favorite part on this card is the flavor text. Change your mind, or I'll change it for you. Yeah, I love that. You know, a lot of times I do try to go with like an original, and in that regard, it would be from Urza Saga, and getting the arena promo version. But man, something about this duress, I feel like it's harder to find, and I just love everything about it. So there you go, an expensive duress. This is like $20 or something, $15 to $20, somewhere around there. Next up, Dragon Hunter. This guy finally replaced Elite Vanguard. You know, he just is a little bit better. You know, he's a 1 mana 2/1, but protection from dragons. Hello, we just saw Sarkin, and I also have the Thundermaw Hellkite in my deck, or in my cube. So this guy has a little bit of upside when facing off against red. We got Imposing Sovereign and Banishing Light. Then I also added in Elspeth, Sun's Champion. I kind of was on the fence back and forth, but I mean, let's be honest. This Planeswalker is awesome, and it is so good if you're like in that, you know, late game white strategy, controlling kind of archetype. It's just so good. I was kind of wanting a more aggressive styled Planeswalker. I had originally had a Johnny, Color of the Pride, but you know, it just wasn't that great as an aggressive Planeswalker. You know, it was fine as like a one-time use, you know, given double strike and flying. But other than that, I'd almost always rather be casting, you know, like just a better creature, Mirran Crusader or something. But this guy, or girl, I should say, Elspeth, very, very sweet Planeswalker. Absolutely love this artwork. So sweet. Next up is the infamous Sex Monkeys. Wah, wah, wah. Uktabi Rangatang. Just another one of those ETB effects on a creature, which has been pretty good. I really like ETB effects. Next up is Polukranos. This guy's been pretty solid. You know, 4 mana. It's just a really well-costed green fatty. Good to ramp into. Got a Colonia Hydra. I'm trying this guy out. You know, if he's left unanswered for, you know, 1 to 2 turns, it's pretty sick. But, I don't know, 5 mana, there might be some better 5 mana spells or creatures that I may just rather have in, so we'll give him a try. But I do like the card, and I think it is cube worthy. And next up is Nissa Worldwaker. The Green Planeswalkers are, you know, Garruk Wildspeaker and Garruk Relentless. I absolutely love those two, and I used to have Garruk Primal Hunter, but I felt like the triple green was just a little bit too demanding, like you really had to solidify yourself into green, and he seemed to almost always wheel, and so whoever was in green seemed to always get hooked up with it, and it wasn't ever really a tough decision. I tried to really avoid a lot of triple color of the same color mana symbols for the card. So, you know, I decided to cut it. And I don't have Kiki Jiki in my cube. You know, maybe one day I'll put that whole package of the twin win combo. But again, you know, I had Kiki Jiki in my cube, and it just went around and around, and you really had to be in red to take it, or you really have to be in green to take the Primal Hunter. So Nissa fills the spot pretty well. I think it's a nice aggressive Planeswalker, and I've been happy playing with Nissa so far. Next up, Precursor Golem. I had made a lot of cuts, and so when I evened out all the cards in all the colors, which was 60 in each color, I was left with a few spots open. I had to fill them. Those spots are what I'm planning on doing is going to fill with the rest of the Moxes that I need, the Power 9. And so in the meantime, I just kind of picked some artifacts or artifact creatures that could be in the colorless spot. Precursor Golem's, you know, pretty solid, but this is definitely one that's on the chopping block very quickly. But for now, it's cool. Next up is Memory Jar. I really like Memory Jar when you're dealing with, you know, like Storm archetype and stuff, which is not in my cube. But overall, Memory Jar is just a solid card. You know, it's easy to ramp into, and it's nice to just sit on it and then, you know, crack it open for some fun. So, got this and put it in there. And here we have the Chrome Mox. I had well, a lot of the other Moxes, like Mox Diamond, and of course the Mox Emerald, Mox Ruby. So I figured I'll put this in there. Fast mana is always nice. And this is the Mirrodin one, and I found it on a pretty good sale on TCG Player. Honestly, I bought this like a month ago. I don't remember what it was. I just know I got a really good deal on it. Alright, last two cards. I just kind of talked about putting Eureka in my cube, and ta-da, here it is. Eureka. Picked this up with the remainder of my Channel Fireball credit, which was pretty much perfect. I had like $100 left, and this was like $90 or something. So, yeah. I really like having multiple colors have ways of cheating in, big fatties. If I'm going to be running, Kozilek and Olimog and Emrakul, I like having blue with Show and Tell, red with Sneak Attack, green with Eureka, and Channel even, but just multiple ways of getting some of the like Eldrazi out, and then of course black has Reanimator. If you really want to get cutesy, and I've got a Corpse Dance in there, yeah, you could reanimate like an Eldrazi, but that's not what it's really there for. So that's Eureka. And last but not least, sorry that this video is kind of dragged on a little. Last but not least, foil Tarmogoyf. Finally, I got a foil Tarmogoyf. It's the new Modern Masters one. And, for the longest time, I had just really postponed getting this card. I had the non-foil in the cube, because I used to, use Tarmogoyfs in my Modern and Legacy decks. But I sold off all of them except for one, left it in the cube, and, like the Future Sight one, I really like the Future Sight border, but I'll be honest with you guys, I hate the Future Sight artwork on Goyf. My opinion, a lot of you guys will disagree. I love the border, but I just hate the artwork. With this Goyf, it's not like I like or love this artwork, but I do like it a lot better than the Future Sight one, and I'm much happier looking at this one than I think the artwork on the Future Sight, even though I prefer the border on the Future Sight. The added bonus is the Future Sight one goes for like $500 to $700, and this one currently on Star City is retailing at $350. The main reason why I decided to get this card was because my local card store was doing a pretty saucy sale. 30% off what a Star City pricing is. So $350, and take away 30%, basically means this card cost me $245. And so I basically traded in the non-foil Goyf that I had, and traded in a Rise of Eldrazi Kozilek, since I just replaced that. That's on its way in the next Pimpage Pickups video. But yeah, traded in those two cards, and $100 cash, came out with a foil Tarmogoyf. So now that's takes care of every single green card is foiled out in my cube, and that joins the ranks of all the red foiled out, all the white foiled out, except for the Ravages of War, but I can't get that just yet. And then all the black foiled out. So yeah, I'm really just down to like 6 or 7 more cards left to foil now that I got Goyfy. So really happy to finally get this expensive card. Oh, not to mention the other reason why I held off was because, let's be honest, in Cube, Tarmogoyf really just isn't that great. There's so many better picks than Goyf. This guy typically will go, 8th, 9th, 10th, maybe 11th pick, somewhere around, the later stages of the pack. So it kind of felt bad to me to, want to spend $500 or $600 on a foil card that is taken, near the end of the pack. Yeah, it just didn't feel good. So, but like I said, $245 sale. That was like the cheapest. The next cheapest price I saw on TCG Player was like $290 for this card. So definitely happy. Boom, foil Tarmogoyf. Sorry for rambling on. There you have it. Pimpage Pickups number 11. Stay tuned. 12 coming at you. Catch you all later.